Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'm going to show you how I made this acorn, and I want to say it's probably like a paperweight. What I'm going to use is Let's resin, epoxy resin. It is a two-part resin, a part B and a part A, and you put equal parts by a volume in your mixing cup. And I mixed up a total of 3 ounces, so 1.5 ounces of each. And then you want to stir it for 4 minutes. So I set my timer on my phone for 4 minutes. And when that's up, I can stop stirring it. And then I'm going to get out my mold. So it's just like a geometric shape, I guess. My neighbor gave me this, gave me 2 different molds that look similar. And this is what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use these acorns. Now, I got these acorns, and you saw 5 of them there, but I do actually use 6 of them. So my neighbor, next door neighbor, she has several trees, and she's got these acorns laying all over the ground. So I picked up a little bit, probably 3 handfuls of, no, probably 2 handfuls of them. And I thought, you know what? These are free craft supplies. So I'm going to use them. And I didn't do anything with these. I mean, I didn't wash them. I didn't do anything with them. I picked them up off of the ground, stuck them in a bag, brought them home, and then used them in my resin. So, yeah. I didn't wash them or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill my mold about 3/4 of the way full with the resin. And then I am putting another acorn in there. I think I've got 4 in here at this time. Now I put the 5th one in. And then I'm going to put this in my debubbler. So I have a Let's resin debubbler, and I put it in there for 4 minutes. I was afraid to do more than that because I thought it would bubble over. So this is it after I got it out of the debubbler. And I think I went ahead and already added that 6th acorn to it at this point. And then I'm just going to take my lighter and I'm going to pop any bubbles that are there. And there were quite a few bubbles. And then I'm just going to finish filling up my mold with some more resin, just to get it up to the top. And you can see how my acorns were kind of popping out of there. They were rising to the top, and I just kept pressing them down with my popsicle stick or craft stick, whatever you want to call it. It's just one that I use for resin. So I would push them down, and then I would pop some bubbles. And then they would come back up, and I'd push them down. See how that one keeps rising up? And then I would pop some bubbles. And I just kept doing that over and over. And of course I had to show it to you because, you know, you might not know how to press it down and pop the bubbles. Well, you do now. You do now. And yes, you are welcome. Yes, I taught you how to do that. I mean, okay, not really, I'm joking. So now I got the bright idea of holding it down with my stick and then popping the bubbles. And then you saw there my stick kind of caught on fire, but I quickly blew that out. And at some point, the acorn stayed down. So as you can see there, I don't think they're, well, okay, it did pop up a little bit. But at some point, they do quit popping up. And I don't know why or anything else, but they did. And it might be right there, maybe. So I just finished filling up my mold, popping bubbles. And then when I set this aside to start curing, there was one bubble that would pop up in the center, and I would have to pop it. And then it would happen again, and again, and again, and again. Now, I think this is it right here where they start staying down. Yep, and then all I had to do was pop the bubbles. So I did put it on my heat mat. I did it 2 different times, 2 hours each time, and I did the low to medium heat. And so this is after the 4 hours, and I'm just going to demold my little paperweight there. So I'm just kind of rubbing my fingers along the edges just to loosen it up off my resin. And my heat mat, it is a leveling table. It is glass, and I got it off of Amazon. So it is a leveling table and a heat table. And I really like it. It works very well. And then I put a Teflon sheet on top of it, which I also got from Amazon. But the table that I work on, my regular table, it is not level at all. So I really had to get a leveling table, and I really wanted a glass one because I know it's not going to warp. And I knew that if I got anything other than glass, that it would probably warp, and I didn't want that. So I'm just taking my little manicure scissors there, and I am cutting off the bottom edge a little bit. It did kind of shrink on me, so I wanted to cut those edges off. And I did end up with one bubble at the very bottom where I said, you know, in the middle it would pop up. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to use it as is, or I might fill it in with UV resin sometime down the road. But there it is. I think it turned out pretty good. There's my acorns, and there are 6 of them in there. And I really didn't see any other bubbles other than that one there at the bottom that you see. There probably are some little teeny tiny bubbles, but you don't really see them much at all. And anyway, I'm going to just take my fingernail file, and I'm going to file down the bottom edge of, I'm going to say paperweight, my paperweight. Do people use paperweights anymore? I know everything is usually on the computer, so we don't do a whole lot of stuff with paper, do we? But my desk has a lot of paper on it. I'm just going to use it as a decoration. But you see that little white spot on the very bottom in the middle there? That is actually a bubble. And like I said, I will probably fix that, but not on this video. And I'll use UV resin to do that. So there it is. That's going to be my front. There's a side. There's my back. It shows more of the acorn caps. And there's the other side. That one acorn almost came all the way through, but it didn't. And there it is at the front again. So I think it looks pretty good. Now I did take it in to my sink, and I put water on the bottom, and I scraped it with a toothbrush to make it look clear. So this is what we have. Let me know what you think. So you can get free craft supplies from the neighbor's yard. So there's my acorn. Paperweight. And again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. I do 3 videos a week and 4 shorts a week, and I hope you'll join me each week. Bye.